Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Now, I'm hoping that it goes one of two ways. Either Ambrose turns heel, which on Monday Night Raw gave it an indication that he's not going to because of his little speech after the match, or it is them two as faces. They're battling it out, and then next thing you know, just like at WrestleMania, someone comes and cashes in. Sheamus runs down, makes it a triple threat, does a couple of moves, road kick later. He walks out WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He walks up the ramp. Triple Bitch comes out. They shake hands and raises his hand to end the show. That could happen. Why is anyone surprised? Come on, people. It's funny how people try to complain about how predictable WWE is, or how they can see shit coming a mile away and still complain about it anyway when it happens. I mean, look, it's kind of funny that this has happened, because regardless of what happens, people will complain. It's just the nature of it. People will say, I want this now. I didn't want this now. This happens later. I want this, and now I don't want this. It always crosses. And when they give you exactly what you want, it's still somehow predictable and unacceptable. This has been going on for a while with WWE fans, or fans with wrestling in general. But I was not surprised. I actually laughed, okay? Because I was like, yep, done deal. So, let the predictability train continue, because that's what's going to happen here. So, yes, Sheamus is now your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. After Roman Reigns beats Dean Ambrose in the finals of the tournament, which I basically called that was going to happen. That was the only two that made sense. I thought that either... Now, the main thing that I was wrong about, the main two things that I was wrong about, I thought that one of those two was going to turn heel, either Ambrose or Reigns. I thought Ambrose. And then I also thought that it was going to be a triple threat during the match. But I kind of saw Sheamus walking out WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It just would not have made sense if Reigns or Ambrose would have. It just wouldn't have made any sense. There's nowhere to go after that. At this time of year, it's almost Royal Rumble season. It's almost WrestleMania season as far as going on the road to WrestleMania. There has to be someone to be in the title hunt, and that will overcome adversity. Will Roman Reigns have behind him what he didn't have last year as far as the fans? We don't know what path they are going to go as far as who's going to be the one that they choose to win the Royal Rumble. But there's only a couple of people that make sense to this point to win the Royal Rumble, okay? Now, is Sheamus going to hold it until WrestleMania? Nobody really knows. I see him holding it until WrestleMania. I just do. So now it's pretty much Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble and then getting the title at WrestleMania. That's almost a lock at this point. Unless they pick somebody else, which I don't see happening. I just don't. But I just thought it was funny that Sheamus cashes in and he walks out the champion. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious because, again, where else could they have gone? Now, there are people saying, Roman Reigns got robbed. I'm like, look. Again, there's a lot of people that's been robbed out of the championship and so on. Who's to say that this wasn't supposed to happen anyway? Who's to say that it would have been Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and then Roman beats Seth, and then he would have got cashed in on anyway? Who is to say that that wouldn't have happened anyway? Okay? So all of that aside, the event It wasn't all that great, but then again, it went the way it was supposed to. Like the 5-on-5. People are upset because they're like, oh no, Sheamus couldn't even beat a Lucha and he couldn't even beat an Uso. That's all I'm reading now. There's a website that I go to called eWrestling News, and that's all I've been seeing as far as comments. But I'm like, wait a second here. Almost every single Money in the Bank winner and briefcase holder went through abysmal bullshit losing streaks. Almost all of them. Okay? And almost all of them have cashed in and became champion. So, what happened to Sheamus during the event or even before is not relevant at this point. It's just not. The only thing that's relevant is that he cashed in and he got the belt. Hey, Seth Rollins, he couldn't even beat Roman Reigns. Remember? He couldn't even beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Remember? He was still Mr. Money in the Bank, and he cashed in, and he won, and look at his title reign. Okay? Right? I remember when Daniel Bryan was Mr. Money in the Bank. He cashed in, rolled somebody over. I thought Money in the Bank, when you cash in, it's supposed to be two people standing and ready to go. Not when Daniel Bryan cashed in. Motherfucker's already on the ground. He rolled them over, pinned him. Champion. That happened in the Big Show. Where are your excuses now? If you backtrack every single Money in the Bank winner, just about every one of them, it will show that they went on losing streaks. It will show that they would have a big mountain to climb. They will be down here, and most of them will be like, okay, they're champion now. And they took it and they ran with that. Just about every single time. So there should be zero complaints here. People say, oh, it's WWE logic. Most of you fans out there don't have the logic because this has been going on for years. The format and the fabric of wrestling has not changed in decades. All of you have just aged. That's it. The fabric has been the same for decades. If you really go by comparison. But most of you will not because you're just stuck in your ways as saying that you want this and nothing else and so on. You're just grown, immature children as far as your mind and as far as you won't open your mind. I'll just say this is hilarious. That's just my opinion. If you have any questions or comments below, feel free. But see, yeah, the Wyatts didn't win. Charlotte retains. There was a 5-on-5 where the faces won. Tyler Breeze beating Dolph Ziggler. Hey, Dolph is a former world champion. What the fuck is he losing to Tyler Breeze for? If you're going to play that game. Right? Okay, then. So, yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, the event wasn't all that great, but it went exactly the way it was supposed to. As far as those two mid-card title holders not getting to the finals, and a heel walking out as champion because the biggest face has to still overcome some adversity and to get the title later. That's what this is all about. Because who's to say, like I said, who's to say that this wasn't going to happen anyway? So yes, drop kicks, body slams, throwing motherfuckers over the top rope, and both feet hitting the floor. This is the theme. And I'll see you later. Credits.